Well, it's unclear how long this reprieve will last because it does appear that these tech imports will be subject to a Section 232 investigation, which could take weeks or even months. We have to keep in mind that when President Trump signed that initial executive order on April 2nd, it always excluded chips, as well as some other key industries like lumber, pharmaceuticals, and copper that could be subject to Section 232 tariffs on the basis of national security concerns. It now appears that these other tech imports, including consumer electronics, will fall under the sector-specific umbrella instead of the so-called reciprocal plan umbrella. As you said, President Trump just saying that this moved from one bucket to another. Now, with that said, when this White House has invoked Section 232 before, including on steel and aluminum imports, auto imports, they've implemented a 25% tariff rate. Let's just say, for the sake of the example, that ends up what goes into effect. That would be considered to be at least an initial victory for big tech, because that is so much lower than what could have been the now 145% tariff in across the board when it comes to Chinese imports. But still, some really big questions here, not just on the timeline uncertainty, but also how is the White House going to look at the full scope of these electronics? For example, are they going to tariff the value of an iPhone on its whole, or are they going to tariff just the value of the chip inside of the iPhone? Questions like this are going to keep coming up. But John, I will just quickly add, the one thing that remains the through line here is that President Trump doubled down in his post that this really is about China, reiterating that all of these products are still subject to that 20% baseline tariff that Washington imposed back in February.